Hello Aquarius, and welcome to your August 2019 general read. I'm Jade with yesYesYes. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I am a little bit behind this month, so thank you for your patience. It's just been a busy summer, so I have no excuses other than I was kind of waiting for Mercury retrograde to end just to get some clearer messages. So we'll see what comes up. This is the general read. And first let me just say thank you all so much for all your likes, shares, subscribes, your comments. I really enjoy the feedback. I'm so happy to be here with you. So if this does resonate for you, or if you are feeling it, I'd love for you to hit that like button. It helps the channel out so very much. I just adjust my chair, it's a little creaky. But yeah, it helps me out so much, so thank you. So this general read, this is all based on a reading I did at the beginning of the year. So the link to that 2019 read is in the box below, as well as my website if you're interested in having a personal read. So let's start with your overall for this year is the Beauty Way. This is the Mystical Shaman Oracle card. And this is finding the beauty, the peace, the inspiration in every moment and everything, be it something that may not be wanted, right? So it could be, you know, even though we're not being given the opportunities, or, you know, the situation may not be what we want, how can we find the beauty and the perfection in that situation? And I think that this is really what your, not necessarily lesson, but your experiences this year is really looking for the beauty in everything, the perfection, the inspiration in it all. Now this month specifically, you have the Lovers card, and this is a card of Gemini, so this is your sister air sign. The other thing about the Lovers is that even though, you know, when we do a love reading, we think of this card as telling us about twin flames or a deep connection, the Lovers card is really about a choice and decisions and weighing and deciding, right? So there could be a decision that you're working on making this month. It could be a decision about a relationship, but there's definitely some transformation. You're being clarified by the Lenormand Coffin card, which is a card of endings and beginnings. So there could be a decision that is creating an ending, or a decision that has been made that's creating an ending, and then there's a change that occurs, or the end of, like, you're actually finally making the decision. So there's a couple ways of doing that. And then of course, if you want to apply that to a relationship, there could just be some great relationship changes that are happening or occurring for you this month, Aquarius. But we'll see how these cards relate to the overall. I'm going to do a past, present, future spread, and I'm going to use the Klimt Tarot this month. I love this deck. There's a lot going on in this deck. It's all been pre-shuffled, but I'm going to go ahead and get some shuffles for you while I'm talking with you. I'm looking for past energies for Aquarius. So what energies? And I'm generally trying to do 9 cards, but sometimes more pop out, so that's fine. We're looking for cards for the near past for Aquarius, please. Cards for the near past for Aquarius, please. They're not letting go. I'm having that. There was 3, 4. Look at that. Just 4 came on out. All right, we'll take them. So we begin with the Tower in reverse. This is the resistance to change, the resistance to the whole thing, starting over, new foundation being laid. It's a change nonetheless, but it just means that there is the not wanting of this change. So if this is a relationship, it seems like the other person might have ended it with you. Or if it's a decision that's needed to be made, it could mean that you didn't want to make the decision. There's a resistance to it. Now we've got the 8 of Wands. This is our movement card, our change of venue, change of physical place, right? Things having to get going. So there could have been a resistance to this change occurring quickly. I'm feeling like it could have been something that happened just like that, where all of a sudden somebody woke up one day and said, you know what, I'm not happy, you know what, this isn't working for me, regardless of if it's a relationship or in business, like at, you know, even at work, at your job. 4 of Cups, we've got some emotions here on the table in the past here, and this is a feeling of despondency, of complacency, not exactly being fulfilled. Let's look at that. Thinking about it, but not necessarily feeling about it. This is the Cups card without the feeling. So there's definitely some emotional detachment and not being fulfilled in the past. And then we've got the Ten of Wands, and it seemed to be quite burdensome, quite heavy. You might have felt that in the relationship, that the relationship just went too far, got too heavy. I've had a relationship like this in the past where it was just too much and there was no coming back from it. No matter how much we loved each other, it was just too much in between that was heavy and weighted. So there's a lot of heavy energy here in the past for you, Aquarius. So whoever I'm talking to, I'm hoping that this is transformed. Let's see what's coming up in the present. And we'll get clarifiers. I usually clarify present and future. So let's see what's coming up for the present energies for Aquarius. And this could be deep past as well. It doesn't have to be yesterday. So it just means what is up for you this month. What are you processing through this month? So that could have been a process that, especially with that Mercury retrograde, sometimes that can be a process that has repeated, or a story that has repeated from a few years ago. Ooh, okay, this one's trying to come out. I've got one more for the present, please, for Aquarius. One more card, please. Okay, I'm gonna look at that bottom of the deck. Emperor, we could be talking about a Aries or a Taurus energy, but somebody who's strong, who might have been the dictator in the relationship. I'm reading it as a relationship because I'm seeing it kind of that way, but it could be a boss as well. So if we're talking about a work situation where you just had to leave, it happened all of a sudden, we could be talking about this boss. Now, the first thing that popped out was the Knave of Swords. This is the Page of Swords in the reverse. So this is not talking, not speaking, holding the tongue, not even maybe looking at each other, looking away from the truth, not wanting to really confront it, maybe not being able to confront it. Sometimes it takes the emotions time to catch up. I'm feeling like this is very much our Mercury in retrograde period. So now you might be in a place where you can finally process because you've been thinking about it. It's been internalized. This could also be a younger person. Hold on, let me get some water here. Excuse me. It could have been a younger person who was not speaking properly to you, like maybe somebody who was interested in you but not quite stepping to you in a way that you felt was respectful, or maybe even someone talking about you behind your back or sideways, like not necessarily behind your back, but just badly around you. So this is just, the Knave of Swords is someone who doesn't quite know how to speak their truth properly or the truth properly. And in the reverse, just not acting properly, not acting right. Okay, we also have the Nine of Cups. It came out in the reverse. So you're still holding on to whatever this relationship was, not feeling, if it was a relationship, not feeling completely in your power emotionally, not getting your wishes fulfilled. Just again, a little bit of sadness, probably just processing through this stuff from the past. But I just want you to know, Aquarius, that there's no reason to let it build up, right? It's okay to go through the process of feeling the self-pity and feeling the harshness of what once was, processing through if there was, any type of emotional abuse or story that you want to leave behind. I'm just feeling like you're in that process right now, and that's totally fine. You might just be holding yourself back. The Mercury retrograde might have been perfect for you to go within. Now we've got the Lover's card coming back up. So here's that decision. And this could have been a very deep connection. Could have been a very long-term connection. It could also have been a mirroring connection where you felt like it was fated. And it probably was if it was this deep, right? I feel like even though relationships don't last, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not important. And that's what we kind of get lost in. We get lost in the fairy tale of things, where we feel like, well, if it was meant to be, then it would still be happening. And I don't believe that. I believe that relationships and closeness comes in waves, right? We get closer with people, and then they go out to sea, right? They come in with the tides, and then they flow out. And remember that Lovers, it's in the upright, which is great. So you know that through this emotional processing that you might be going through, there is a decision for you to make. You're weighing your options, you're deciding at this point, and with it being in the upright, it's actually urging you to connect to your heart in this choice, okay? You might still be in this relationship trying to figure out if it's the right thing, and you might have been getting to this place now where you're deciding about it. And it could be with somebody who's younger than you, someone where you guys have been arguing a lot and the words haven't been feeling good. Again, we have that Emperor energy, so it could be an Aquarius, Aries, or a Taurus. Okay, let's see what's coming up for the near future for Aquarius. So Aquarius, I'm sorry if you're feeling it, but I know that there are ways to get past. I'm going to take all 5 of those. I'm encouraging you, and I'm really amazed by the process that you're going through here. So if you feel like you're in it, you're totally feeling your feelings, that's the good thing, because as air signs, it's difficult to lay into those feelings and work through them. And I think that you're giving yourself some time to process through, not necessarily with your head, but with your heart, which is exactly the right way to go here. So let's see what we've got. We've got 3 of Wands in the near future. So we're going to build something new that's going to move on towards better structure for you. Might have some help from people around you as well. But this is the card of, having built and waiting for things to come in. So if this is the present, where you're making your choices, whatever your choice is, and we'll see if it comes out some more, to stay or to go, to end it or to transform it, it looks like in the future here, you're able to build solidly and securely so that good things can then come. I like that energy. Let's see what else. We've got King of Wands. Now we're taking on the fiery energy. So if we were talking about an Aries that did pop up earlier, this Aries, it could be your Aries, it could be you taking on this energy. And the King of Wands can burn out, okay? Not only burn out the energy that person has, or you, if this is your energy, but also burn out everything around it, because sometimes the King of Wands forgets his heart, forgets to move from and act from his heart. He can easily overdo. Because it's an action-oriented, even though Leo has a lot of heart, this is all about action. So doing more than feeling. So just be aware that that's coming up. Now, it's empowered. It's right side up. It's acting courageously with forethought, and also making sure that everyone is taken care of, because it's the king, right? The king has to make sure that his domain, his kingdom is provided for. But the only warning in this card is make sure that you're balancing yourself with your emotions. You don't go too much into the action and to doing and to trying to create life the way that you want. Allow life as well to reveal itself. So there's the balance. What else we have? We have the World card in the reverse. So this is telling me that cycle's not quite ended. So if this is a relationship, if this is a job, and you've been wondering if you're going to end it, if it's going to end, if it's going to transform, it looks like it might transform rather than end. It's still in the cycle. If we're talking about old story and we're talking about transforming yourself as a cycle, then you might want to consider, is this cycle good for you? Is this, staying in this, or even if even if it's redoing it or renewing it, just make sure it's good for you. And I know that you're going through this right now to decide that. So it looks like this cycle, there's still a bit of it that's still playing out. There's not an expansion, it's a hold, right? It's not stagnancy, it's just a hunkering down and knowing that this is where I need to be right now, okay? So it seems like that energy is here for you in the near future. We also have the Two of Pentacles. This is a card of juggling, dancing. I say that because it's usually a dancer card in my mind, that juggler. But being able to, and it's a 2, so that's also a positive here. If we're talking about a relationship, it's juggling the needs and the wants for both parties or multiple parties. Okay, you've got 3 people in this card, but 2 children, 2 little ones are being taken care of. So that could be your family layout, right? You could have 2 little ones. But this is, because it's a pentacle, we're talking about pentacles as food, clothing, shelter, health, well-being, and money. So any of those issues could be struggling to try to keep the balance. You know, you're keeping all those balls in the air. Maybe you're focusing now on making sure that the basic needs are taken care of, because you've been kind of in an emotional place, and we really haven't seen any pentacles up until this point. So it's time to get back to what the basic needs are in the near future. And then we also have the Magician. This is a Gemini card, Mercurial card. It's also the card of Virgo. So creation, manifestation, and using it, creating life with your own power, taking your power back, which is great because right here you've been holding on, not feeling your power in the past, deciding probably where your power is, and in the near future you're back in your power. You've got really strong cards in the upright. I really appreciate that, love that. I wish this World card would have been in the upright, only because then I know that everything's moving smoothly and you're moving on and kind of next leveling. But if this is right for you, right, if it's still in reflection, still kind of holding on to a little bit, and that feels good for you, then that's the way to go, okay? That's, you know how to live your life the best. I'm really just reading cards here, just talking about the general energies, really. Now I'm curious about this present tense, okay? The present tense and any kind of clarification we had is the 8 of Cups. So this is a card of having choices, but it's also a card of illusion. So be aware of that you're in the place of making choices, and you may feel overwhelmed at the moment of all of the different ways you can go. You might have multiple choices of things to do, people to spend time with. So just be aware that you're looking at the truth and that you can narrow down your options without feeling burdened, okay? Now for the near future, any other clarifications? And I want to come back with the Lenormand as well. So any clarification for the near future? Okay, let's see. We've got Knave of Wands. So this is the Page of Wands. More of that energy here. I want to get one more card here for the near future. The Page of Wands, I like the pages because they're excitable. They've got fresh energy. It's possible that they could throw off the balance because they come in so hot and heavy, because they're so excited, and it's really hard to keep keep a balance with this much excitement. But they're immature, they're still learning, and all of that excitement is because they don't know the whole story. They don't know how things are done. They don't know how things will reveal themselves. They haven't seen the cycles because they're so young. So keep that in mind, that if this is a fresh cycle, or if you're feeling really excited, again, the only thing about the Knave is that you're seeing the whole picture. Okay, so keep the excitement, which I think is beautiful. If this is your energy changing for the better, because these are really positive cards here in the near future, and if you're excited about it, if your person is excited about it, if your person changes from being a Knave in the reverse, we have the Swords in the past, or in the present, actually, to the Knave of Wands in the future, we're turning them right side up. they still have that passion and that energy, but you might have to temper them, you know, like, okay, let's do this again, let's start over. However, let's do this with, let's look at the reality of it, and keep in mind that, you know, we don't want to burn out, because this is a wand. There's so much passion, so much energy there that you can burn out. We also have the Two of Swords came out in the reverse. So there is that clear decision, I'll put it here, the clear decision that is made where the truth does need to be said. Don't withhold it, okay? And Aquarius, this could just be, again, coming out of this Mercury retrograde and warming the tongue back up after withholding information, after going deeply within. That's what I'm kind of feeling. So there's some kind of deep transformation that is either going through your, you know, you're making a choice that's going to change your life with someone, or just in your life. Could be a work situation, but I'm seeing a lot more relationship cards. Let me get some more clarification here from Lenormand. Let me see if there's one card for the present, please. For the Lenormand. These are always the ones that stick a little bit. One card, please, for the present. You might end up pulling it differently. Home. Okay, we're talking about a home situation. Could be talking about your physical home. We did have movement in the past, so you might have moved homes, changed your home life. Or security, okay? We could be talking about what security is to you, and how do we make decisions where you feel safe and secure. And this is a new foundation. We talked about that in the near future too, okay? I've got two cards here for the near future. So we have travel and stars. So we're talking about changing things up again, more change for you, and looking at fate. But the stars also has the warning of burning out, okay? Very positive though. You can have anything that you want, Aquarius. Just be aware to temper the energies so that you see where you want to go, you get very excited, or your person gets very excited. Just make sure that everything is balanced so that you don't burn out going in that new direction. And I feel like there is a really interesting new expansive energy here for you, as long as we keep looking at it exactly as it is. Like, let the stars light the way, and make sure that they don't burn out. You know, it's a hot and heavy relationship where relationships get deep really fast and then they burn out. So just temper the energy, slow it down in its development. If you're coming back together, you know, if this person hurt you in the past and you're willing to forgive and you want to work on it, make sure that they know it's going to take time, and you're going to have to set the pace so that it's right for you and your heart in its healing. All right, Aquarius, that's what I have for you. I'm sending you all my love, and I'll see you all next time.